the short answer is that immediately regarding the latest developments around the case of Mr. Navalny, the decision was taken yesterday, the political decision was taken yesterday to proceed with sanctioning using the sanctions regime, a global human rights sanction regime to punish those who are responsible for persecution, arrest and sentencing of Mr. Navalny using this framework. But as you know, the sanctions regime of the EU is very wide. And every time if there is a decision to sanction someone, or I mean it can be person or it can be entity, for some violations of human rights or international law or rule of law or democracy or etc., the member states are considering which framework and which sanctions regime is the most appropriate. So at this stage, from short-term point of view, the decision has been taken to use the human rights sanctions regime to punish those who are responsible for developments in case of Mr. Navalny, which does not exclude the possibility, if there is a need and political agreement by the member states, to proceed with other sanctions, targeting other persons or entities using other sanctions regimes. This has been done in the past. We have the sectorial sanctions because of the annexation of Crimea and fomenting the unrest in the eastern Ukraine. We have the chemical weapon sanctions also related to the poisoning as such of Mr. Navalny. By the way, the poisoning was still not investigated by Russian authorities. So there are ongoing discussions, and when a decision is made, then of course this decision contains the framework in which the sanctions or restrictive measures will be taken.
Thank you. I see no further questions on foreign affairs for us today.